What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video I'm going to be talking about 3 players that you should not buy in NBA 2K18 MyTEAM. For the start anyway. When these players' prices go down, buy them as much as you please, but I think on day 1, definitely steer clear. So anyway, first of all, we have got the best player in the world. It's LeBron James. The reason why I'm saying to steer away from LeBron James is I do think that with the Sapphire tier, I think that he's only going to have a 3-point rating of about 70. And if you guys looked at LeBron James' Sapphire card last year, it was really bad. Like, there were actually a lot of Emeralds that were far better than that card. Sapphire LeBron was really bad last year. And Sapphire LeBron at the start was about 20k, so he was really expensive. So on day 1, there's no point buying your Sapphire LeBron James. Heck, there's no point really buying any Sapphire cards because in about 2 days, I'd say they're going to be releasing some way better players like they did last year with the historic packs. But I would say that of all the Sapphire cards, I would steer the furthest clear of LeBron. I think all the other ones are going to be quite good, but I think LeBron is going to be poor next year. So next we have got Lonzo Ball, a player that I think is going to be great in NBA 2K17, but his silver card is not going to be great in my team. Straight up, it's not. Like, it's going to be average at best. He's going to have like a 72 shot 3 max. He's going to have decent passing stats. If you think about it this way, because of silver, it won't have any badges. It might have a bronze dimer, which isn't really worth much. Lonzo Ball, I think, when he gets some moments cards, he'll inevitably get some sort of team card that'll be a ruby or higher, and that card will be a beast. But his silver base card, day 1, is going to be so expensive. So expensive for silver. He's going to cost more than most of the emeralds. And I can't see that card being spectacular. Like, it'll be a good card, and realistically, I'm probably going to buy it just for content, and I'll sell it again. But there's no point buying him, especially because once his salary cap gets bumped up, because inevitably everyone will want to use him, and his salary cap will be bumped up, his value will go down. So he's a player who's going to depreciate in value quickly, especially with the way that he's going to be packed really often. His value is going to depreciate a ton. So I would advise not to buy Lonzo Ball for at least the first 2 weeks of the game. If you want to buy him, try him out for a game and sell him straight away, that's fine. You might lose the 10% DA tax and a tiny bit more. So I'm not too fussed about that. Like, you can do that, that's fine. But I wouldn't pick up Lonzo Ball with an expectation to use him throughout the year, with an expectation even to use him for a week, because his value will at least half at the end of the first week. And I could see it dropping by even more than half in the first week. So day 1, steer clear of Lonzo Ball. And the last player, it's not one player. It's high-rated, unathletic cards that can shoot threes. So what I'm talking about players like Dwayne Wade. And this is hard for me to say because Dwayne Wade is my favorite player in real life. Dwayne Wade's card last year, without the dynamic duo Chris Bosh, was terrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Like, he wasn't fast, he couldn't dunk, he couldn't shoot from mid-range. He had really high, like, on-ball defensive, not on-ball defense, he had really high, like, offensive consistency. Stats like that actually don't make any difference. So, don't ever be fooled by overalls. The stats that matter the most are dunk, ball control, open shot 3, contested shot 3, all 3-point shots, and speed. They're the stats that matter the most for a wing player. It doesn't matter how bad they are at everything else. It's why Mario Hezonja is consistently good in 2K. And he's a beast in NBA Live as well. It's why he suits video games perfectly. It's why for years Gerald Green was really good in 2K. It's why Terrence Ross is always good in 2K. Because they have good stats in the areas that matter. Dwayne Wade has a 79 overall card. And obviously, it's rated higher. It'll be rated higher than all the players that I mentioned. But the thing is, he won't have stats in areas that matter and will play a lot worse than a lot of silver cards in the game. Because last year, his emerald played a lot worse than most of the gold cards. And I'm trying to think of other players. Like, Dwayne Wade was just the one that popped into my head. But there was a ton of emerald cards, historic cards that were really bad. So there's a ton of players that fit that mold. And you're going to see a lot of them, especially kind of at the 79 or 80 rate gold. If they have a stat like post fadeaway high, that's alright. Or a mid-range shot that's high, they're good. But say, for example, if they have in the 60s or 70s mid-range, in the 60s or 70s for 3, in the 60s or 70s for speed, they're not tall and they can't dunk, There's honestly, no matter what other stats they have that are high, unless it's like unbelievably high defense, which I doubted on a base card that's a gold, unless all the other stats, like it's the other stats that don't make a difference that are bumping the overall up. Stats like intangibles that actually literally don't make a difference. So there's a lot of kind of external factors in overall. So what my tip is to never fall for overalls and look for the stats that are important. For centers, you gotta look for the likes of rebounding, you gotta look for speed, you gotta look for block rating and height. They're really the main things that I look for, and vertical as well is important. For power forwards, open shot 3, rebounding if they have it, speed's great to have, and height as well, you can't go wrong. At the small forward position and 2 guard, you look at the 2 wings, you gotta look for speed, you gotta look for dunk, you gotta look for 3-point shot, you gotta look for ball handling, it's not important, and on-ball defensive IQ and lateral quickness. And then for the point guard, obviously ball control is really important. Then open shot 3, not so much. Open shot mid is quite important. And then there's the likes of speed, which is really important. Speed with ball is very big for a point guard. Dunk helps, but it's not needed. A layup is the most irrelevant stat in the game, I think. And height is big. You don't want a point guard that can't dunk in this game, because point guards can't dunk are normally poor unless it's like a Kyrie Irving or Steph Curry who's gonna nail threes all game. So anyway, that's the video. These are just some tips on how to start my team and the players not to pick up. A lot of people fall into this type of trap, and like when I would have started playing my team game modes when I would have been like 15, 16 years old, I would have fallen into this trap. So it's something that I've learned from playing these type of game modes from FIFA Ultimate Team back in 2011 up until playing my team in 2K17. These are the type of things I learned, and these are the type of players that you kind of want to dodge at all costs and you don't really want to waste your money on. Those players will depreciate massively in value, but because of who they are, because of their overall rating at the start of the game, they're going to be quite expensive, and you should definitely dodge at all costs. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.